Hi, this is Bastiaan, and this is the annotation of a game I played a year and a half ago against the Hotbabe chess engine using the London system. So there's not too much going on here, but I thought I'd annotate it anyways, so you can understand the moves. I play d4, engine plays d5, knight f3, knight f6, and bishop to f4, signaling the London system. Black continues with knight to c6, e3, and bishop to f5. And normally in the London system we would like to develop our bishop to d3. However, this is no longer possible because that square is covered by the bishop on f5. So I continue the system with knight b to d2. Black plays e6. I play c3, so we're seeing on white side the London system appearing on the board. Black plays, except of course for the bishop, black plays bishop to e7, getting ready to castle. And now white has some countermeasures because of black developing the bishop to f5, because now his pawn on b7 is unprotected. And the book move against this is queen to b3, putting pressure on the pawn. Black plays queen to c8 to protect. And now the only piece that's undeveloped, only minor piece, is the bishop. But bishop to e2 is too tame. Bishop to d3 is no longer possible. So the only other good square left is bishop to b5, perhaps hoping to trade off pieces and create weaknesses, doubling the pawns. Black plays a6. I take, check, and pawn recaptures. So now this is somewhat dangerous because the weakness on b7 is gone, but there's another weakness, that's the double pawns. And it looks like my queen is in an uncomfortable position on an open file where black can play rook to b8, chasing the queen. I play knight to e5, immediately trying to attack the weak pawn on c6. Rook to b8, very predictable. And now I play queen to a4, and the reason why queen to a4 is played is that it keeps my queen mobile. I can always retreat and place my queen on any other part of the diagonal. Of course now b2 is hanging, so that may become a problem, but on the other hand I have two pieces attacking c6 with tempo and a check. So f4 looks the logical move to me. In fact, if black were to try rook takes pawn, I can recapture with check. Black needs to move his king because blocking with the queen is impossible. So black cannot castle, and I can trap black's knight with knight to b3. So I'm not too worried for black taking on the pawn on b2 immediately. The threat of queen or knight takes on c6 is far more dangerous. Also, I haven't castled yet. So in this game I'm keeping my options open, whether to castle kingside or queenside. Black plays rook to b6 instead, adding a protector. So now queen takes is no longer possible. At this point I cannot take with the knight either, because if knight takes, it looks like white is winning a pawn, but after queen to d7 my minor piece is lost, and of course I cannot move it, or black gets a free queen. So rook to b6 is a valid defense for the weak pawn on c6. I play b4, eliminating all options for black to take on the pawn on b2. Still keeping in mind that my queen can retreat. Black plays queen to b7, adding more protection. And if we look at the board now, we can see that my queen is still mobile, but black's pieces are behind his own double pawn. And it will make it tougher for black to continue the game. I play h3, preparing g4 with a pawn storm. h5 to prevent g4. f3, adding more support for the pawn break. Black castles. I play g4. Pawn takes, pawn recaptures. And now we can see an open h-file with a rook on it. And this king is poorly protected for the moment. So I'm going to continue with the attack on the king. Black plays bishop to h7, adding protection for the king, replacing the lost pawn. I castle queenside, getting my second rook into the action. Black plays rook to d8. There are very little moves for black to play at this point, because he has locked himself in more or less. Bishop to g5. Pawn to g5 is also possible, but bishop to g5 is played. Queen to a8, hoping to give more play on the h rank, still protecting the pawn. Rook h2, preparing a battery. Knight takes pawn, so black is winning a pawn with a discovered attack, but all that is not important. Pawn recaptures, bishop takes bishop. So I am down a pawn, but I get a more open field to attack the enemy king. Rook to h1, f6, attacking the knight. Rook takes bishop, pawn takes knight. I recapture, which is important to lock out the escape squares for the king later on. Bishop takes pawn, so I'm losing a second pawn. Again, not important at all. Queen to c2. So now we see the difference at how easy it is for white to remaneuver and attack the king, whereas all of black's pieces are cluttered up on his queen side. Black plays king to f7 to prevent the queen move. Now rook to f1 check, king to g8, queen can go to g6. Black plays the in-between bishop takes knight check, I recapture. Rook to d7. Rook goes back to h1. So already we can see a threat. Although black is protecting the pawn, I can play rook to h8, winning the queen. If nothing else, black plays king to f8, rook h8 check, king goes to e7, so the king is off of the h rank, and it's no longer useful to grab the queen, because queen takes pawn is a checkmate, with, as said before, the escape of the enemy king cut off by the pawn. So those are some ideas in the London system from a game I played a year and a half ago. So thanks for watching. I'll leave a link to the live game. Please leave a comment and have a great evening.